Long before any single currency united the region, the islands of the Eastern Caribbean had no money system of their own. Spanish silver dollars, known as pieces of 8, circulated widely across the colonies, alongside British sterling coins and a patchwork of notes issued privately by individual banks operating in the islands. There was no central authority controlling how much money existed or guaranteeing its value, and the same coin might be worth a different amount from one island to the next. Trade between the islands and with Britain was constantly complicated by this lack of a common, trusted currency. The first real step toward order came in 1935, when the British West Indies dollar was introduced across Britain's Caribbean colonies. It was tied directly to gold and to the British pound, fixed at a rate of $4.80 to £1 sterling. For the first time, the island shared a single reference currency, though in practice cash still often circulated as notes issued by private commercial banks rather than by any government authority, since no formal central bank yet existed to take over that role. The system was tested in September 1949, when Britain devalued the pound sterling in the aftermath of the Second World War. Because the West Indies dollar was locked to sterling, it was devalued along with it, and its gold backing was reduced. The event exposed how tightly the Caribbean's monetary fate was bound to decisions made in London, decisions the islands themselves had no part in making. In response, the British Caribbean Currency Board was established in 1951. For the first time, a single institution held the exclusive legal right to issue currency across the British Caribbean territories, replacing the old system of private banknotes with one, uniform, government-backed currency. The board operated on a strict principle known as a currency board system. Every dollar it issued had to be backed almost entirely by foreign reserves, mainly British government securities. This gave the currency real credibility, but it also meant the board had no independent power to set interest rates or actively manage the economy. Its only job was to issue money and keep it fully backed. Through the 1950s and into the 1960s, the West Indies dollar spread further, becoming legal tender in Jamaica alongside the Jamaican pound and sterling, and also in the Cayman Islands and the Turks and Caicos Islands, although it saw little actual use in those last two territories. But as Britain's Caribbean colonies moved toward independence one by one through the 1960s, the old colonial currency board structure needed to evolve into something that better reflected the islands governing their own affairs. That evolution came in October 1965. The British Caribbean Currency Board was formally reconstituted as the Eastern Caribbean Currency Authority, and on the 6th of October that year, the East Caribbean dollar was born, replacing the old British West Indies dollar at an even 1-to-1 exchange rate. The new currency covered the smaller Eastern Caribbean islands that had not gone the route of Jamaica or Trinidad in creating their own separate national currencies, choosing instead to keep a shared regional money system as they moved towards self-government. For its first decade, the East Caribbean dollar remained informally tied to the fading British pound. But the world was changing. Sterling was steadily losing its dominant position in international trade and finance, while the United States dollar was rising to become the currency that increasingly underpinned global commerce. In 1976, the monetary authorities made a defining decision. The East Caribbean dollar would be fixed to the US dollar instead, at a rate of $2.70 to $1 American dollar. That exchange rate has not moved since. Half a century later, it remains one of the most durable fixed exchange rates in the world, a rare point of stability through oil shocks, global recessions, and Caribbean hurricanes alike. The final structural piece fell into place in October 1983, when the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank was formally established, taking over from the old currency authority and setting up its headquarters in Basse-Terre, on the island of St. Kitts. Unlike the original currency board, the new central bank was given a broader mandate, not only to issue and back the currency, but to oversee the stability of the banking systems across its member territories and to support balanced economic growth. Even so, it preserved the disciplined core of the old currency board approach, keeping the currency almost fully backed by foreign reserves to protect the fixed exchange rate that had already proven its worth. The bank's membership brought together 8 territories: Antigua and Barbuda, Dominica, Grenada, Montserrat, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and the island of Anguilla, all sharing one currency, one central bank, and one monetary policy despite being separate states and territories. Even the physical coins told a story of practical design. Many of the East Caribbean dollar's coins were minted in distinctive polygonal shapes rather than plain circles, a deliberate choice that made different denominations easy to tell apart by touch and sight alone. Over time, the coinage was modernized, with new round 1, 2, and 5 cent pieces introduced from 2002, and higher denominations shifted to nickel-plated steel from 2009. The smallest 1 and 2 cent coins were eventually withdrawn from circulation in 2015, remaining legal tender only until the middle of 2020, as the cost of producing them for so little value stopped making sense. The paper currency itself kept evolving too. In 2019, the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank issued an entirely new series of banknotes printed on durable polymer rather than paper, presented for the first time in a vertical format. Then in 2023, marking the bank's 40th anniversary, it released a special commemorative $2 note unlike any before it. Instead of the British monarch who had appeared on every East Caribbean dollar note since the currency's creation, this note featured coral reefs, hawksbill sea turtles, and the cricket legend Sir Viv Richards. It was the first banknote in the currency's history not to carry the image of the reigning monarch of the United Kingdom, who remains head of state in most of the currency union's member territories. That commemorative note turned out to be the opening move in a much larger change. Later in 2023, the bank's Monetary Council made the decision to remove Queen Elizabeth II's portrait from the currency entirely. In her place, an entirely new banknote series was designed, honouring the region's own national heroes and nation builders. The Nobel Prize-winning economist Sir Arthur Lewis, the Olympic sprint champion Sir Karani James, former prime ministers, and the first woman to lead a Caribbean nation, Dame Mary Eugenia Charles of Dominica, among others. Set to enter circulation in 2027, this new series will complete a journey that began nearly a century earlier with colonial coins and privately printed banknotes, arriving finally at a currency whose faces belong entirely to the people who use it.